Welcome to Civil Services Achievers Point. We are discussing today the Assam Tribune of 29 September 2020. At Civil Services Achievers Point, we have various courses. You can join these courses, and for details, you can call at the number given below. These are the answers to the MCQs of 28th September. You can pause the video here and check the answers. These are the MCQs of 29 September 2020. You can pause the video here and attempt the MCQs and try to answer them in the comment section. So these MCQs are highly probable for the upcoming APSC prelims examination. These are the important newspaper articles we are discussing today and the important aerials we are discussing. So students, let us begin. The first newspaper article is very important, and definitely a question related to this article will come in the upcoming prelims exam, that former Chief Minister of Assam, Syeda Anowara Taimur, passed away. So this topic we are studying under the General Studies on Assam. That is a GS5 paper, topic polity. So Taimur was the only woman Chief Minister of Assam. So this point will be checked by APSC because Syeda Anowara Taimur is the first and only woman Chief Minister of Assam. And she was born on November 24, 1936 at Jorhat, and she did her higher studies from the Aligarh Muslim University. So she served as the Chief Minister from December 6, 1980 to June 30, 1981 during the height of the Assam agitation. So Assam Andoloনৰ সময়ত যিখিনি সময়ত Assam Andolon it was at its height, she was the Chief Minister. She was also a 4-term legislator. So Anwara Taimur was first elected to the Assam Assembly from the Mangaldoi constituency in 1972 as a Congress candidate. Then she was re-elected to the assembly from Dolgaon constituency in 78, 83 and 91. Also she served twice in the Rajya Sabha. So these points may be asked in the form of MCQs in the upcoming prelims exam. Students, you should make a note of it. So now coming to the next news article, Center has approved the arms acquisition worth rupees 2,290 crore. So this topic we are studying under the General Studies 3 paper topic security. The background is that the Defense Ministry has approved the procurement of arms and military equipment worth rupees 2,290 crore, and which includes 72,000 big SIG SOR assault rifles from the USA. And the procurement proposals were approved at a meeting of the Defense Acquisition Councils. So students, you can mention in the comment section who heads the or who is the head of the Defense Acquisition Council, who is responsible for the procurement of proposals. So this council is responsible for the procurement of the defense equipment. So you can mention in the comment section who heads or the Defense Acquisition Council is headed by whom. So apart from the above rifles, assault rifles, procurement of smart anti-airfield weapon systems, that is SAAW, SAW, for the Navy and Indian Air Force was also approved. Along with it, a new defense acquisition procedure DAP that features steps to turn India into a global manufacturing hub of military platforms, reduce the timelines for procurement of defense equipment, and allow purchase of essential items by the three services through capital budget under a simplified mechanism. So the whole procurement for the three services and how to make India into a global manufacturing hub of military platforms and reducing timelines for procurement of defense equipment. So these are will be the key feature with the new defense acquisition procedure. Now coming to the next very important topic, this is frequently coming in news, that heat wave and gusty winds heighten risk of California wildfires. So on the western side of the North American continent, especially in the USA, the California region is frequently experiencing heat waves and gusty winds, and which are increasing the risk of wildfires. So the US National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning for nearly all of Northern California as a heat wave combined with gusty dry winds, and it has increased the risk of wildfires in the already highly devastated region. So in a region which is highly devastated by the wildfires, there is a increased combination of gusty dry winds and a heat wave. New wildfires erupted in a region, including the fast-moving Zog fire that burned through 7,000 acres in less than 5 hours near Redding. Also, it is seen that the Northern California is also the location of the enormous August complex fire, which continues to burn about 130 miles north of San Francisco. So, the wildfire in the August month is still continuing now, and the largest wildfire in state history has destroyed more than 8,70,000 acres so far since it erupted last month, and neither the August complex nor the Creek fire, which has incinerated more than 3,02,000 acres of forest 60 miles northeast of Frencho, were even 50% contained till now. So the fire is not, the wildfires are not even 50% controlled. So this may be asked by APSC as a MCQ, that which area is experiencing wildfires frequently. Another answer is the Australian bushfire. So we have to be very careful when such questions come, because these are very important with respect to world geography. Then for in order to increase domestic manufacturing, government plans rupees 3 lakh crore the production linked incentive scheme for 10 sectors. So this we are studying under the general studies 3 paper economic development. So in a major push to domestic manufacturing in a country, the government proposes to divert more than rupees 3 lakh crore through an umbrella production linked incentive PLI scheme that will run simultaneously in 10 identified sectors for a period of 5 years. So the government, in a exercise to increase the domestic manufacturing in the country, has proposed to give more than rupees 3 lakh crore through an umbrella production linked incentive PLI scheme that will run in 10 identified sectors simultaneously for a period of 5 years. Now the allocation will have to be worked out within the confines of the suggestions given by the expenditure department based on expected savings from the withdrawal of the existing merchandise exports India scheme. So the allocation have to be provided within the limitations of the already savings from the existing scheme called Merchandise Exports India scheme, which was introduced in April 2015 to promote manufacturing and exports of specified goods from India. So within the allocations in this scheme, the future allocations have to be made. And as you can see here, that the sectors include battery storage, solar powered modules, electronics, then automobile and auto components, telecom, and textiles, food processing, specialty steel and white goods like air conditioners and LEDs. So this is another important point. We should make a note of it, because these things are done so as to make India a hub. Again, the next bigger allocation is regarding the electronic manufacturing. Then after electronic manufacturing, the next component which gets the highest spending is the automobile and auto component sectors. Then comes the electronic manufacturing. After that, pharma sector, electrification of transport. So these are the primary sectors which get the maximum incentives. Now here we are discussing the Apne Desh Ko Jano feature. So here there is some important points regarding the legendary singer Lata Mangeshkar. That Lata Mangeshkar is the first Indian singer to perform at the Royal Albert Hall in London. So this might be an important point in our APSC prelims MCQs. Then there is a new government program, a path-breaking initiative of the government of Assam. So friends, whenever such schemes or any initiative by government comes, we are covering this in our daily current affairs class. So these are very highly important from APSC prelims and APSC mains also, and very much important for interview. So at the 3 stages of the examination, these schemes are very important. So here we have a government initiative called EDITORIAL. So what is this? Basically, it is a pilot launch of online pension submission and tracking portal. So what are the key features of the EDITORIAL portal? The portal provides platform for online submission of pension papers and tracking facilities, thereby enabling the government servants to avail pensions right after their retirement. So we have to understand the key features of the scheme of the initiative and try to remember them, because an APSC MCQ based question may come in the prelims examination. Now we are discussing the important editorials of the newspaper. The editorial farmer need price assurance too. So this is regarding the general studies 3 paper topic economic development. So the author has argued that despite the contraction in the GDP growth, there is a silver lining, and the silver lining is that there is a growth in the agricultural sector at 3.4%. So another positive development was the robust procurement of spring harvest or rabi crop, especially of wheat. So this article emphasizes on the need for the food procurement and the MSP, which acts as multiple uh, provisions for the farmers. We will discuss this in this editorial now. So when the FCI does procurement, usually through its designated agencies based on various states, it means the farmer gets the assured price called the minimum support price MSP. Now the MSP is given as a political decision based on inputs given by the Commission on Agricultural Costs and Prices. So so this is another important point which may come in the prelims exam, that the MSP is given based on inputs given by the Commission on Agricultural Costs and Prices, CACP. So due to input cost escalation for seeds, say pesticides, diesel, credit, fertilizers, etc., the MSP too needs to go up so that the farmer receives an adequate return. Otherwise, it's a loss-making proposition. Now, the average escalation in MSP has been about 6% per year for wheat and similarly for rice. This procurement by the FCI has 3 objectives. So, how the FCI procurement at MSP helps the farmers? and the country. Here it is mentioned. Firstly, to give an adequate support price to farmer. Secondly, to ensure food security to the nation by keeping this in buffer storage. And thirdly, to provide this grain to the public distribution system. There is the ration prices at cheap prices, ration shops at cheap prices to make it available to the poor and needy. So these are the three objectives for procurement by the FCI. Now, the difference in price paid to the farmer and received from the PDS is the food subsidy budget of the central government, which has crossed over rupees 2 lakh crore. It is 1% of GDP. Now, the procurement process is very large, and with the total number crossing 90 million tons of wheat and paddy, even though the MSP assurance covers 23 crops including cereals, oilseeds, pulses, and commercial crops like sugarcane and cotton, the de facto position is that the bulk of the spending is on just two crops, wheat and rice. Now, moreover, despite being a national policy, the farmers who sell their crop to FCI come from only half a dozen states, and these constitute barely 6% of all farmers in the country. So, the volume of procurement by FCI is huge and constitutes nearly 1/3 of all grain production in the country. That is a big intervention in the agricultural economy and something that displeased even the World Trade Organization. So India's this MSP giving is very largely opposed by WTO. So in this further in the editorial, it is discussed regarding the establishment of WTO, the World Trade Organization, and how the government convinced the WTO at its formation that Indian farmer was not given any privilege, but in fact had negative support from the government, and the terms of trade in fact are tilted against the farmer vis-a-vis industry, and this has been sought to be compensated with measures like MSP. So the MSP supports are given to the Indian farmers. So getting a fair price is a basic need of a farmer suffering from the vagaries of nature, that is the monsoon irregularity and the exploitative practices of middlemen who enjoy disproportionate bargaining clout. So this is the reason for the coming up of the APMC or Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee, a system introduced nationwide in the early 1960s. Now the APMCs are supposed to be run democratically with periodic elections and a majority representation of farmers, and the APMC was a formalization of the Mandi system which has existed since centuries. Now for over the years, even the APMC system was captured by vested interests with a political nexus and dynastic control. To this day, there are barely 4,000 APMC market yards when the need is maybe 40,000 market yards in the country, and the license Raj of the APMC system has a stranglehold on the farmer as well as the buyer, who were compelled to only go through this statutory middleman. So it is in this context that the new farm bill introduced in parliament is creating controversy. The farmer is now free to sell his produce within or without the APMC. However, there are certain fears that the farmers will not get the MSP now, and they may be exploited by the business class or the industrial people, industries sector. So this fear has to be addressed and assurance has to be given to the farmer. And with this, the farm bills also represent a significant step in the economic reforms in India and in the agricultural sector. So this editorial discusses the need for the farm bill reforms which are passed in the parliament. So with this, students, we come to an end to today's current affairs class. I hope this class was very helpful. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you.